Artemis, the goddess of the hunt from Greek mythology, is as wild as she is fierce. The untamed forest is her home, being able to roam and hunt to her heart's delight. She is an SSR Luminarch fighter hero who hits like a train but is susceptible to a quick death if left open to attacks. She is what gamers would describe as a glass cannon. Let's analyze her. Starting with main skills. She has 2 active skills and 1 passive skill. Her auto attack restores 50 attack energy. First active skill, Lunar Strike, is a simple but effective skill. It deals high damage, stuns, and buffs her attack speed. This skill is notable for immediately killing some frontline enemies at the start when Artemis starts with it. Lunar Strike restores 180 attack energy. Passive skill Full Moon increases her damage depending on the distance between her and the target, so positioning her in the back line is optimal. For those of you who don't know, the battlefield is 9,500 units wide, so half that distance with her attacking the enemy front line increases that damage somewhere between 20 to 25%. Second active skill, Moonlit Arrow, is an AoE multi-hit skill with a critical chance resistance debuff for hit targets. Moonlit Arrow restores 180 attack energy. Ultimate skill, Crescent Arrow, is an AoE random multi-hit skill that also stuns the target. It's great if there's one enemy left, so all the arrows would target that enemy. Next is equipment. Artemis most commonly should equip the Axe of Pengu with fire runes for high damage and the critical chance bonus. Personally, I use air runes instead of fire because I want her to use Lunar Strike more frequently for stuns. For boss battles, she should equip the Staff of Shabur with dark runes to use Crescent Arrow on the single boss target with higher boss specific damage from the staff. Next are Divinity skills. Artemis is one of the few fighter heroes blessed to have Spotlight, which heightens their damage output. Besides Spotlight, the rest of her Divinity trees have excellent options. 6 nodes, I recommend Spotlight and Death Waver for most situations. 7 nodes, I recommend adding Transcend to Spotlight and Death Waver, especially if her Immortal tree is level 3 or 4 for the auto attack speed bonus. For boss battles, I recommend Spotlight, Transcend, and Savvy. Next is Iconic Weapon, or IW. Achieving IW 600 costs 48 ISS. Artemis is clear about her IW stat distribution that leads to her glass cannon reputation. She has high numbers for the 3 offensive attributes and low numbers for the 2 defensive ones. Her Chimera attribute is accuracy, which greatly helps her take advantage of the critical bonuses from Spotlight. For her Awakened IW, I recommend 8 yellow offensive nodes consisting of attack percentage, physical cleave, and accuracy like mine has. If you get a good rating defensive node, like the critical damage resistance that you see on mine, it's fine to keep 1 or 2. However, she should primarily be as offensive as possible. Next are IW skills. Despite being an early hero, Artemis was fortunate enough to receive a diverse IW skill set. In my opinion, IW 100, 500, and 600 are the important skills. IW 100 and 500 work together to keep her attack speed high. Her starting Lunar Strike stuns an enemy, which triggers IW 100 for faster attack speed. With faster attack speed, she has more auto attacks and therefore more chances to trigger IW 500 to land a stun until the next Lunar Strike, which would again trigger IW 100 and repeat the cycle. IW 600 is great for reducing the glass survivability of her glass cannon reputation by giving her large shields for her big damage attacks. Next is PvE and boss performance. Artemis is a great PvE hero for starting out in the game and carrying the team to the end of mid-game PvE. In the end game, her high damage is not enough for PvE enemies because her skill set does not damage based on HP percentage, which is necessary because enemies have extremely high stats. Artemis is not the top choice for boss battles either, but she can suffice for starting players, especially for the Luminarch War Dragon, until Amaterasu is developed. Next is Crusade of Edda performance. Artemis is good for Crusade. Being an Asterial Divinity main hero with Spotlight lets her easily take out 5-man enemy teams for land occupation. However, she would be left out on attacking Jormungandr. Next is PvP performance. Artemis shines brightly in PvP. She has been in the meta for most of the game's history. Nowadays, her biggest appearances are behind Morana or Lucifer in the ICH team, or behind Oda in his team as one of the wind element heroes. If you watch PvP battle replays, you see her every time, and I'll show a quick demonstration of mine in both of the aforementioned teams. For my tests, I use a level 120 Mystigon with level 10 Aura to set a reasonably powered team. Keep in mind that my teams are more powerful than the other players' teams, so the PvP results will differ from mine. Let's watch.
Your souls will be judged tonight.
I never doubted myself.
You'd all be extinct in my forest. Spring has been defeated. Like the beast you are.
I never doubted myself.
Truth in illusion. Bring Care for another round?
destroy an inferno!
The painter learns from the mirror.
Ruled by fear and force. Fire today, ash tomorrow!
You'd all be extinct in my forest.
Dark, you said. Let us prepare. This isn't over.
The painter learns from the mirror.
An inferno! I shall destroy all. Let us prepare. This isn't over.
Theory wrong.
I give to you! Rule by fear and
Right to
force.
rule is heaven's decree, and kingship is divinely granted.
An inferno!
I'll rise.
Fire today, ash tomorrow! An inferno!
The mighty shape their destiny.
You'd all be extinct in my forest.
Next is tier list rating. Artemis gets a 4 for IW 600. She gets 7.57 points in power for her 4 skills: Divinity Skills, Transcendent Spotlight, 138 for Chimera, Bahu, and Anka, and a max of 2 points from IW 100 to 400's offensive bonuses. She gets 3 points in support for Lunar Strike and Crescent Arrow's stuns, as well as IW 500's mini stun. She gets 0.3 in survival for Divinity Skills, Death Waiver, and negative points from Draco 102 and Gembu 84. She gets 7 points in versatility, 2 in Champions Arena, 2 in Void Portal or Dawn's Vistage, 1 in boss battles, and 2 in Crusade. She previously had 8 with 1 point in endgame PvE, but I have decided to remove that point. Her total is 21.87, moving her to A+ tier from her previous S tier. Let's summarize Artemis. Her strengths are control stuns, high damage, and wide versatility for the game. Her weaknesses are falling off at endgame PvE and easy to kill if she is left open for target. This concludes Artemis's analysis. Thanks for listening.